Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, that website address, if you don't already know what it is, just in case you don't. And lately the website has been blowing up, just absolutely blowing up. I've been doing like quintuple my regular page views. So thank you guys for that. Subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on the website, subscribe to the email updates. They are free. They don't bite. I do them like once a week, maybe once every other week, depending how much content I roll out. I mean, I don't want to spam you guys. I want to send you guys information that's valuable, that you can use, that you can actually find helpful. Today I'm answering a question. I haven't done a question in a while. It's from a viewer. They will remain anonymous. It says, "Hi Dan, have a question. We have an upcoming study for people who have asthma and have had at least 2 exacerbations requiring hospitalization. Some of these people would be ER patients. Do you have a strategy for reaching out to ERPAs, docs? So a PA is a physician assistant, doctor, or respiratory therapist. Do you have a strategy for reaching out to ER docs?" I do. I've done inpatient studies before. You shouldn't expect to enroll that many people. Of course, it's going to help if your PI can get involved, if your MD can maybe get credentials for the hospital. Maybe he or she can pick up a shift in the ER, or if your MD doesn't want to do it, maybe one of your sub-Is, like a nurse or a respiratory therapist. Another option would be to go in there and talk to one of the staff there, talk to one of the doctors and say, "Hey, we're doing a study. Would you like to be a sub-investigator for the study?" Or maybe talk to one of the respiratory therapists and tell him or her, "Would you like to be a sub-investigator for the study? You can add some research experience to your resume. Here's what we're doing. Here's what we're looking to find a treatment for or find a better medication for. Can you guys help us out when you find an appropriate patient who you think can qualify for the study? Can you enroll him or her? Can you refer them to us?" It's often a good time for these people, these ER staff, emergency room staff, to get their feet wet, because the work in an emergency room, in an ER, is extremely stressful. But it is also kind of the same thing that they're doing over and over again. And sometimes they want to break from that monotony, and they might find something like clinical trials to be interesting. And if they deem that it would be appropriate for some of their patients, once they've stabilized, obviously, to join a study, and the patient consents to that, the family consents to that, I see no issue with going about this strategy of targeting the ER staff. And it might be challenging. Like I said, get one of your doctors or one of your nurses to go in there and talk to them with you. I think you're the community outreach specialist at your clinic, so bring one of them on board with you for the presentation. Also, just reach out to maybe the director of the hospital. Sometimes they have owners. If they're small hospitals, they have an owner, or they have someone who's managing, like a director of nursing. Reach out to them and see if they'd be interested. And if they're not, I mean, you can kind of try to sell them on what it is that a clinical study is. A lot of them don't want to hear anything about it because it sounds something complex. So that's where you go in and tell them, "No, here's what we will do. We have our own staff who do nothing but research. It might actually be a good way to get some of your ER patients, once they're stabilized, out of your hands and put them with us, and eventually move them out of the ER, maybe faster." Maybe that's something that they're interested in listening to you on. Now, the second part of your question is also about recruitment. She says, "Also, we have done an overactive bladder study. What media placements worked well for you?" I have done an overactive bladder study. What worked well for me, I'm going to tell you everything. Like radio, if you get a budget, in most of these contracts, you'll get advertising budget. Use radio, use newspaper. In our area here in California, we have one of these things, Penny Saver. They go around these are free. I get this in my inbox, in my actual inbox, my mailbox. I always see clinical trial ads in here, and I've advertised in here. So find something like similar to the Penny Saver in your area. Other newspaper, radio ad, make sure it's IRB approved, of course. TV ads. I would still go with the Google ads. I mean, I know you say that a lot of the people who would likely join this study are older, but they're on the internet also, and sometimes their family members are online too. Pfizer's virtual clinical trial, if I'm not mistaken, was for overactive bladder, and their only recruitment methods was the internet. So don't be so quick to dismiss the internet. Um, Craigslist, paid advertising too. You can try Google Ad. Um, and I know the study participants you're looking for are 50 and older. I would just try all of them. I mean, maybe not the Facebook ad, unless you're doing asthma, but people mistake that only young people are on Facebook. That is not true. Actually, all the young people that I know, people younger than me, way younger than me, like in their teens and early 20s, have moved off of Facebook because most of their parents are on Facebook now. So Facebook's actually good, solid breeding ground for uh, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70-year olds. Don't dismiss Facebook. Facebook ads are good. They might be pricey, and you might need a filter. You might need to have a good filter system so you don't just get meaningless clicks. Um, Try all of them out. Let me know. Again, this is Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Keep sending your questions. I want to give my clinical trial guru producers a shout out. First of all, it's Sarah Elizabeth Siegler. Then it's Resolve Research Solutions, Accurate Clinical Trials, Erdhard Clinical Trials, PT&R, Patrick Stone. We have Darshan Kulkarni, Biopharm Systems, Zymewire, Mozio, South Coast Clinical Trials, Breakthrough Clinical Trials, and St. Paul Medical Research Center in Miami, Florida. Thank you guys. If you're interested in being a clinical trial guru producer, let me know. It's a one-time fee, $99. Can't beat it. Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Oh, and subscribe. YouTube, subscribe, like. You can dislike if you don't like it, but I prefer like. Subscribe, and if you're on the website, subscribe by email, please. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.